So next we're going to dive in a little bit deeper to eEdge and your eEdge control panel. So what is eEdge? eEdge is your lead to close system. It has your CRM. It can hold all of your contacts. You can do both print and email marketing from eEdge. You can do drip campaigns where you set it and forget it. You can message from eEdge, and you can also access dot loops. So we're going to go through all of that right now. Let's just dive right in, and we're going to go into my contacts. So just a tip, if you click these little plus signs here, you can go directly to whatever you need. They're like shortcuts. So like if you want to go to just straight to add new contacts, you can do that here. If you want to go straight to create marketing materials, you can do that here, but we're just going to go into view contacts so you can kind of see what it will look like once you load your database into your contact. So for example, I have all of the agent contacts loaded in here. So this is what it would look like once you loaded your own contacts. So how do you load contacts? Everything over this bar up here will offer you the same options as it does on the page we were just on in that control panel. So if you click on contacts, it will give you a little bar of different things to do. All contacts, that's where we are now. You can look at recently active, create, manage groups, or import and export. So we're going to go to create contact first. This would be if you're adding an individual contact. So maybe you just met someone, at a show or something, and you exchanged cards, they're a potential buyer. You might just want to go ahead and put them straight in your database, not wait to upload a whole nother spreadsheet or something. So that's where you might do that here. So you go in, you can see the status. You can change that to, well, if they're ready to buy, then maybe they're a hot lead. Of course, you would enter the name. You can get really, really specific here. Their gender, company, job title, birthday, what type of, business they might be offering, category, phone numbers, email address, referral info, just tons of details. You could put in notes. You could put in, oh, I met them on this date at this place, so that you have something to talk about when you follow up with them. Their address, so you can do mail marketing as well, and then any other secondary information. So that is where you would add an individual contact. You would just hit save right there. And that would allow you to put that person straight into your database. Also under contacts, you can import mass contacts at a time. So we're going to head there. So I highly suggest using the contact list provided to you by eEdge. That's the easiest way to make sure that your contact list is going to go in flawlessly. So if you hit here, select your type of contact list, type of file. If you go down to basic contact list, this will also actually allow you to download a template for your contacts. So if you don't have a template yet, or you don't even know where to start, just hit download there, and then you'll be able to get started adding people in. So let's pretend our contact list is filled out. We would select that. The thing is, when you do upload a mass contacts, you do have to select. They will all have the same status and the same contact type. So if you are being really detailed in your eEdge contacts, then you might want to just make these generic like other. At this point, you could also add people to groups. So you can have groups on eEdge. This is great because you can really target people with your campaigns. As you can see, I have friends, church members, Falcons fans, family, loves water. Those are just people who adore water. You can see all of the funny contact groups I made up. But that way you can target your audience more effectively. So if you have your databases broken into different spreadsheets, then it's a great time. You can just upload them all into one group. And then, of course, you would select your file here. That'll allow you to browse your computer for your file, and you would hit import. Takes a few minutes. There is a trick here. So the first 5 contacts in your database have to have first name, last name, and email address, and there can be no duplicates within that first 5. That's what they use to kind of test to make sure your spreadsheet is in the proper format. Once those pull in, once you get past that first 5, there might be errors later on, but they'll pull in all your contacts anyway. So if it's not working when you import your list, that is probably the solution. Okay. Speaking of groups, if you go back to that contact tab, you can go into manage groups here. And managing your groups, this is where you can create a new group, whatever, way that you are splitting your database, you can do that here. You can delete groups, or you can edit the name. whatever you need to do. It'll also show you the campaigns you set those groups on. So we're going to get to campaigns as well. So that is the eEdge contacts tab. We're going to head back home and then move on to the next tab.